About half of Canadian women have been impacted by it, but very few report it, domestic violence. Today, a workshop looked at why many victims fall silent.
Audience members took notes and listened intently as Surjata Warrior talked about the role of culture in domestic violence.
Culture plays a very important role because that's how you understand where somebody's coming from and how that entire history of that community and family that she or he belongs to impacts the way they experience the violence. And also in terms of for perpetrators, it's important to understand where they're coming from.
Warrior came all the way from New York for the event called It's in Their Culture, which deals with how gender-based violence is affected by one's upbringing.
Domestic violence crosses every socioeconomic, geographical, race, culture, gender, every path. And I think what happens is you've got other compounding factors.
2011 crime stats show that domestic violence in Prince George was on the rise, with the RCMP receiving at least 2 to 3 calls every day.
I would say roughly 1,000 that we would attend in a year, most of which are not assaults. There are certainly between 300 and 400 that would be classified as assaults in our system.
The national numbers show that 51% of Canadian women have experienced at least one incident of sexual or physical assault, with the majority of women knowing the assailant. But the crime is vastly underreported.
Often people that are culturally privileged don't report because of all of the stigma associated around admitting that you are a victim of domestic violence. So I think that's kind of what we're trying to combat here.
And I think statistically there's a lot of reported cases, but there's so many more unreported cases. And I think as a community, with the coordination work that we do with the Aboriginal-based victim services, RCMP victim services and the Elizabeth Fry victim services, we've actually got a coordinated response. So, we're fighting this each and every day.
The aim of this workshop is to get more people comfortable with a very uncomfortable subject.